Hello everyone. Today, I want to take you on a journey into something we often overlook, something so familiar that we rarely pause to notice it. Not the big days, the graduations, the weddings, the awards, or the celebrations, but the key days, the graduations, the weddings, the awards, or the celebrations, but the king day, in between days. The ones we call ordinary. We tend to think of life as a highlight reel. We measure it by its peaks, its mountaintop moments, and yet, the truth is, most of our lives are not lived on the mountaintop. They are lived in the valley, in the spaces between the milestones. In the rhythms of the everyday, it's easy to believe that meaning is found only in extraordinary experiences. But when we really stop and look back, what we discover is astonishing. Life's deepest beauty often hides in plain sight. Within the ordinary days we so easily dismiss. Think about this for a moment. When was the last time you remembered a random Tuesday afternoon? Not because something big happened, but because something small did. Maybe it was the way the sunlight filtered through your window, turning the dust into glitter in the air. Maybe it was the warm smell of bread baking in your kitchen, or the sound of your child's laughter echoing through the hall. These aren't moments we plan. They don't make the photo albums or the social media posts. But they live in us. They remind us that life isn't only about chasing the spectacular. Sometimes, the ordinary is spectacular. We just need new eyes to see it. Ordinary days are not empty days. They are the canvas upon which our entire lives are painted. The routines, the rituals, the small interactions. They weave the threads that hold our stories together. We live in a culture obsessed with the extraordinary. Our timelines are filled with announcements, new jobs, exotic trips, achievements, and milestones, and it can start to feel like, unless something remarkable is happening, our lives are somehow incomplete. But here's the truth. If we only live for the extraordinary, we miss out on the vast majority of life. Extraordinary moments are rare. By definition, ordinary days are abundant, and what is abundant is where life really happens. Think about your most treasured memories. Yes, there might be the big ones, the wedding, the graduation, the long-awaited promotion, but more often than not, what rises in your heart are the small details. A car ride with your best friend, where the music was too loud but your laughter was louder. A late-night conversation that stretched until dawn. The comfort of someone remembering your coffee order. The extraordinary is fleeting. The ordinary is enduring. When we look back on childhood, what do we remember most? It's rarely the expensive gifts or the elaborate vacations. It's the smell of pancakes on a Saturday morning. It's the sound of a lullaby sung softly in the dark. It's the way your father's coat smelled when you hugged him after work. As children, we didn't yet know to divide life into important and unimportant days. Every day held magic. Every routine had meaning. Ordinary days were not ordinary at all. They were filled with wonder. Somewhere along the way, we lose that. We grow up, and ordinary begins to look dull. But the child in us knew the truth. The ordinary is sacred. Routines often get a bad reputation. We call them boring, repetitive, mundane. But routines are what give life structure and safety. They are the anchors that steady us in the storms of uncertainty. The morning coffee ritual, the evening walk, the weekly call to your parents, the bedtime story, the prayer before a meal. These are not just tasks on a checklist. They are rituals of meaning. They are the invisible scaffolding of our lives. In fact, Some of the most lasting traditions are born from ordinary routines. A family dinner, repeated every Sunday, becomes a lifelong memory. A simple goodnight kiss, given every day, becomes a legacy of love. What we do consistently, not occasionally, shapes the story of our lives, and that's the power of ordinary days. They are constant. They carry us, even when nothing special is happening. One of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves is learning to be present in our ordinary day. We spend so much time rushing to the next meeting, the next goal, the next milestone, that we overlook the life happening right now. But when we pause, really pause, we notice the warmth of the coffee mug in our hands, the way the leaves dance in the wind, the laughter of coworkers over something silly, the softness of a blanket at the end of a long day. Ordinary moments become extraordinary when we give them our full attention. Presence turns the ordinary into a gift. Love does not live in grand gestures alone. True love lives in the details, in the ordinary. It's the text that says, "Let me know when you get home safe." It's the saved last bite of dessert. It's the gentle hand squeeze when words aren't enough. Love thrives in the everyday. The way someone remembers your favorite song, or folds the laundry the way you like it. These are not small things. They are the language of love. When we recognize love in the ordinary, we realize how rich our lives really are. When someone we love is gone, what do we miss most? It's rarely the big events. It's the ordinary routines, the sound of their footsteps on the stairs, the way they stirred their coffee, the jokes that weren't even that funny, but they always laughed at their own punchline. Grief teaches us the power of the ordinary. What once felt routine becomes irreplaceable. The very things we took for granted become the treasures we long for. If only we could see now, while we still have the people we love, how precious the ordinary really is. Often surprise us. A stranger holds the door open. A child waves at you from across the street. A coworker leaves a note on your desk. These little surprises don't make headlines, but they make a difference. They remind us that joy doesn't always arrive in grand packages. Sometimes it sneaks in quietly, disguised as the ordinary, and if we're paying attention, we'll catch it. We'll let it change the course of an otherwise normal day. You don't have to do something monumental to leave a mark. Your legacy is built in the ordinary. The meals you cooked, the hugs you gave, the way you listened, the way you showed up day after day. People won't always remember the exact words you said, but they will remember how you made them feel, and how you made them feel was shaped not by a single extraordinary act, but by 1,000 ordinary ones. Your ordinary days are someone else's extraordinary memories. Not every ordinary day goes smoothly. Sometimes the coffee spills, the car breaks down, the plan falls apart. But often, those imperfections become the very stories we laugh about later. The burnt dinner that turned into pizza night, the rainstorm that ruined the picnic but led to hours of storytelling indoors, the road trip detour that revealed a hidden gem of a town. Ordinary days, even when messy, hold unexpected magic. Perfection isn't where meaning lies, connection is, and connection often blooms in the imperfections. Think about this. 10 years from now, what will you miss about today? Maybe it's your child's silly jokes, the way they mispronounce words. Maybe it's the coworker you see every day, who always makes the office brighter. Maybe it's the sound of your parents' voices on the phone. These are the things we don't realize we'll miss until they're gone. Ordinary days are tomorrow's nostalgia. If we can recognize that now, we can savor them more fully before they slip into the past. One of the ways to truly capture the power of ordinary days is through reflection journaling, taking photos, sharing stories, or simply sitting quietly to think about the day. These practices turn fleeting moments into lasting memories. Gratitude transforms the ordinary into extraordinary. When we notice what we already have, our ordinary days shine brighter. At the heart of it all, the power of ordinary days lies in perspective. We can choose to see them as repetitive, uneventful, and unremarkable, or we can choose to see them as sacred, the very essence of life. Because the truth is, life is not something that happens in between big events. Life is happening right now, in this moment, in this breath, in this ordinary day. So, here's my invitation to you. Don't wait for the extraordinary to start living. Start living in the ordinary. Notice the laughter, appreciate the routines, cherish the quirks of the people you love. Be present for the simple joys that unfold each day, because one day you'll look back and realize these weren't just ordinary days at all. They were the extraordinary foundation of a life well lived. Absolutely. I can expand the closing section so it feels more powerful, heartfelt, and complete, giving your talk a lingering sense of reflection and inspiration. Here's a deeper, more expanded version. The power of ordinary days is that they are not ordinary at all. They are the quiet threads that stitch together the story of our life. They are the backdrop against which every big event shines. Without them, the milestones wouldn't even have meaning. Think about it. A wedding lasts one day, but a marriage is built in thousands of ordinary mornings, evenings, and small gestures of care. A graduation lasts a few hours, but the journey there is years of showing up every single day. A promotion is a moment in time, but the dedication, the persistence, the countless ordinary hours of effort, that's what truly defines it. It's the small, steady moments that give weight to the grand ones. And here's the beautiful part. Every single one of us has access to this treasure. We don't have to wait for the world to hand us something extraordinary. We don't need to be rich, famous, or powerful. The beauty of ordinary days is available to us all right now, right here. But it requires a choice to see differently, a choice to slow down, a choice to notice. Because the truth is, ordinary days are slipping past us all the time. How many breakfasts have you eaten, barely noticing the taste of your food? How many sunsets have you missed while scrolling through your phone? How many conversations have you rushed through, never really listening to the words being spoken? Life is happening now, and it's not waiting for us to catch up. One day, you will look back and realize that the things you call ordinary today are the very things your heart will ache for tomorrow. The way your child's hand fits perfectly in yours, the sound of your parents' voices calling your name, the familiar walk to work, the friend who always makes the same silly joke. One day, these moments will not be ordinary anymore. They will be priceless. So the question is, will you recognize them while you still have them? I hope you will. I hope you'll take a breath and look around. Notice the beauty tucked into your day, the warmth of a cup of tea, the kindness of a stranger, the rhythm of your routines, the faces of the people who share your life. Because in the end, the extraordinary is not what makes life beautiful. The extraordinary is rare. It shines for a moment and then fades, but the ordinary, it's always there, waiting for us to notice, quietly shaping us, quietly filling our hearts. The ordinary is what makes life worth living. So tonight, when you lay your head on your pillow, I hope you'll whisper to yourself, today was enough, today was enough, today was extraordinary, because it was ordinary.